Скіфе, радий тебе бачити, друже. Валимо звідси.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl has actually been the subject to many lists on the channel. And the last time we talked about it, we didn't think it'll be coming out within 2024. Well, the Ukrainian developers finally came up with a gone gold final release date of September 5, 2024, and another trailer for it called The Time of Opportunities, which you will see in a second. Probably the infinite amount of opportunities you get to die in this game. Anyway, here's how it looks. You can pre-purchase the game on Steam.
Зараз час такий. Час можливостей.
Усі ці жертви, усі ці смерті. Який в них сенс? Зона така, якою бачиш її ти. Я ж показав тобі, якою я її бачу. Іди своїм шляхом, і тоді ти зможеш побачити.
Before. Who did you love? What did you believe?
On second hands, we've got our first official new trailer for another Microsoft exclusive in the list, the second and last one. Y'all have been waiting for years on this one, I'm pretty sure. It's State of Decay 3, of course. Now, State of Decay 3 actually looks decent, and there are just a few gameplay scenes you will see. Only a quick reminder over here. The State of Decay franchise is a zombie survival series of games where the player has to build up a base and manage resources and hopefully reach out to other people and help. Anyway, there is still no word of a release date for State of Decay 3 except then 2025, meaning it could go up to 2026.
Bought the other survivors just one more day. The sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it. And that helped us find the courage to keep going. To fight on. When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive. Every sacrifice we make matters and will never be forgotten.
where I, Paul Atreides, was never born.
It's been about a year and a half, I think, since we first caught winds of Dune Awakening. But to our surprise, it was actually showcased at the Xbox show, and we got another, story cinematic trailer. Just in case you need a memory jog, Dune Awakening is actually a MMO survival game set on the planet Arrakis. As developers put it, this game combines sandbox elements with social components. Now, Dune Awakening doesn't have a release date just yet, but you can go and expect more betas, in fact, larger beta tests for 2024.
House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. S.T.A.L.K.E.R deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you.
Coming in at number 4, hopefully just a few of you over here remember the 2020 game Those Who Remain, so you can explain it to others, Pat and Jim, because the same developers are coming up with another hit. This time, it's a first-person horror adventure and a thriller. I read it somewhere it's basically a mix of Outcast with Subnautica, if that even makes sense. But we got a new trailer for it to keep up the hype. This game is coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X late this year. There is even another open-world survival game hitting PCs and consoles rather soon. It's fresh out the oven, this one. It's a post-apocalyptic first-person shooter, quite a bit inspired by the Fallout series. Well, as you can see, it's a game called Atomfall, which is, I think, is basically Fallout England, and it takes place 2/3 of a century back, which kind of explains the retro-futurism style that you see here. Anyway, and religion actually plays a major part in your journey in this game. Anyway, it'll be coming to PCs and all platforms as well sometime next year. No More Room in Hell 2 releases in early access this October. Developers announced they released a new trailer for it and reconfirmation of it being a PC exclusive as it was announced before. See, No More Room in Hell is actually a 8-player co-op zombie smasher. It's been in the making for over 3 years, and it's probably one of the most off-the-radar hidden gems at the moment.
So, where's the captain? I told you, everyone died.
First off, if you like, there is a playable demo for the Alters available for about 3 more days on basically all stores right now. I think 4 days. We got a full gameplay trailer for it, developers just revealed, and the word of a full game coming out by the end of the year. Alters is actually one of the most innovative games in the list. I mean, one of the most innovative survival games we've seen for years, in which you play the role of a space-based operator just doing anything you can to survive by making right decisions. Now, these folks are actually aiming to take the concept of character variance and basically giving it a whole different meaning.
This tape when I'm finished. If none of us make it, at least there'll be some kind of a record. The storm's been hitting us pretty hard now for...
How many of you here remember the horror movie The Thing? More importantly, the video game that followed on the film like 20 years ago. Not the movie sequel, but the video game. So whether you know it or not, it was one hell of a horror game. It was a third-person shooter, and we had a pretty good time with it back then. Now, the good news is, the same team who actually remastered System Shock recently is bringing this one too. The remastered version of this one is aiming to hit PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X with basically redesigned visuals, and it's actually made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 too.
I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it.
Look guys, Blooper Team has a confirmed release date of October 8, 2024 for Silent Hill 2 Remake. As it was actually the case with the platforms, it is coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Konami also came up with several different trailers for it, just like a side-by-side gameplay comparison, and more story to go. Then they even came up with another one today. Now this remake will use a third-person over-the-shoulder perspective. Also, both digital and physical editions are now available to pre-order.
I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please. No, please.
These are monstrous, magnificent, huge canyons. And this is you, a tiny piece of meat.
Coming to PCs only early to mid next year. Number 10, we have Canyons. Supposedly, it's developers' first work. Canyons over here is actually a post-apocalyptic zombie survival. It's Mad Max. I honestly don't even know what it is, but the trailer over here is a good minute to watch. I think it's a little like Road of the Dead, maybe the game. Like you can upgrade your vehicles and just blast through zombies harder as you go. Take a look.
Damn. Still not sufficient. There it is. Huge crawlers. Only they will allow you to survive in the canyons. Looks like we'll have to find a bigger crawler.
A quick mention over is a short trailer. Polyaris is a single-player first-person survival game in which the players do explore a post-apocalyptic endless open world to survive the cold, basically. That is also wild fending of wild animals. Anyway, Polyaris is coming to PCs late 2024. Coming up behind that, number 12, we've got an open world game here sitting in early access just a whole month now on Steam, with, well, fairly positive acclaim too, going by the name Fountain of Youth. That's just a very strong competitor to Green Hell. It's definitely inspired by that game. Green Hell is another open world survival game. It's pretty famous lately, although Fountain of Youth is actually set in the 16th century around the Caribbeans. I would highly recommend it if you like your games in single player. The full game, however, is set to be coming to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well sometime next year.
Became the sources of uncontrollable bursts of energy. There was a malfunction on station number 2 as a result of a reactor explosion on station number 1.
Oh, the new S.T.A.L.K.E.R Metro-inspired first-person action MMORPG game, Pioner, was also resurfaced just a few days ago. It will remain a PC exclusive and still waiting on a release date. Pioneer is one of the good games in the list, I would say, if you were ever a fan of Escape from Tarkov, or simply just post-apocalyptic stories. It definitely has its own qualities, and most importantly, it's a massively multiplayer online game set in an open world. That being said, developers came up with another trailer for it. Hope you enjoy.
It's not a bad detector at first, but it can be inaccurate if there is more than one anomaly nearby. Basically, once you get enough hexes, I recommend you buy a better one.
Rumor has it that when the first tide came, the rogue wastelands were altered by something similar to a huge laser ray.
To put it simply, artifacts are bundles of energy. Artifacts are extremely rare, and their activation in the wrong hands can lead to disastrous consequences.
We tried to give you a chance, but your stubbornness doesn't leave us any other choice.
Soon, I will be able to break free from the shackles.
Roman.
Number 14, we have the old Post-Trauma, which is a Resident Evil Silent Hill inspired / classic survival horror game in which you play as a almost 60-year-old man who has awakened in a strange place and now he just has to find his way back home to his family. There's more to the story than that, it's not just it. This game's actually available through a demo on Steam. Last time we mentioned it was a little more than a year ago, I think. It's now coming out this October, and we got a new trailer for it too.
You think you can escape what you have done?
Moving on to number 15, it's Once Human, now set to come out this July 9, and the beta testing that's going on right now. We actually also just got 10 more minutes of polished in-game footage for it, like 4K, like today. The game is, Once Human is coming to PCs exclusively, then mobiles as well. If you're totally unfamiliar with it, it's a actually open world survival third-person shooter. It has been made with the use of Unreal Engine 5, and it's a bit inspired by Division, and we know the TV show Stranger Things.
Did you...
For those of you into Lovecraftian horror games, we've got here the first work of its publishers, developers, this psychological survival horror IP called Pneuamata. Kind of pronounces like pneumonia. Who am I teaching English? Anyway, it's a detective noir horror game, quite a bit inspired by the famous Resident Evil, Outcast, and Amnesia games. And there's a lot of puzzles and even more shooting and first person. Now this game is coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well. This year, developers also released this, another trailer.
I didn't want to do it, but he made me do it.
Wilderness firefighter. This beautiful ATV is my trusty beast. She may be rough around the edges, but damn, I love her.
Playway SA, the famous developers who previously came out with the car mechanics, Contraband Police last year, I think recently Snow and Mud Runners, whatever. As I've said it before, they got another hit up their sleeve for the next year, going by the name Icebound. It's a first-person driving survival simulator where you actually assume the role of a wilderness firefighter on a mission that's just gone totally wrong. The game is a complete collection of real-life survival activities, if nothing else, all in third and first-person view. There is a lot of fixing in this game.
Acknowledged. We can't wait any longer and are moving on. If you hurry up, we'll meet at the next checkpoint. Out.
I hope the board looks as creepy as I imagine. Let's go. With hands entwined and hearts aligned,
and last but not least, available on Steam for almost a year now, we've got over here Fear the Spotlight finally coming out of its early access phase and aiming a full release into PlayStation 4 and 5 next month. That's only a rumor. Anyway, if you're like me, grew up playing the first Silent Hill and Resident Evil games, Fear the Spotlight over here, as you can pretty much tell, is exactly that experience. It's a beautifully crafted game into a fine horror adventure with a genuinely interesting story to it. Hope you enjoy.
just go home, Viv.
I'll save you, no matter what.
Don't worry, Viv. Everything is going to be spectacular.